What's up, guys? Welcome back to the doctor's office. I am Dr. K. Ray Knight, here to give you proper diagnosis and prognosis and everything comics and comic book characters. I am going to issue a trigger warning if you didn't already see it at the beginning of the video. If you have a very, very huge fear of spiders, the way that I do, I highly suggest skipping some of these, or skipping this video actually. This is about a comic book character who has control over spiders, and there are a lot of spider things that are going to pop up. Please, I'm already going to be sick trying to do this, but this is for AAPI, which is Asian American Pacific Islander Month, which is May. And so she is part of that. So I'm going to go ahead and do her character. Right. So these comic book characters you may or may not know about. And today we are talking about the Bride of Nine Spiders. All right, so the Bride of Nine Spiders is the protector of the Kingdom of Spiders in Nepal, which is a really, really just dark ass fucking city covered in spider webs. Ew. And she is what is also known as an immortal weapon. And she's also, just like the other immortal weapons, skilled in chi manipulation, and she uses her chi to control a swarm of spiders. On top of that, her heart pumps like the coldest blood imaginable, and she is like, if you were to touch her, she's like full of the worst horrors that are so inconceivable to mortal men. They would probably just like fucking die, honestly. She sounds like a baddie, right? You know, the spider thing is just that is a lot, right? 'Cause that's gross. Now, a man later on at some point, a man named Desmond Gill had found the singing spider and used it to summon the Bride of Nine Spiders. And when he did summon her, he trapped and imprisoned her. Now, there's like no fucking like reason for this. It was just something that he wanted to do, apparently. But a group of thieves came across this whole entire situation, and they freed the Bride of Nine Spiders so that she could exact her revenge on this Desmond man. As she should, because why the fuck would you do that? And she ended up killing him, but she did spare the thieves because they did save her, and she did end up taking the singing spider. I would have also, because y'all are not about to use that to summon me, especially when I'm minding my own fucking business. Now, at the heart of heaven, the immortal weapons were all like, basically all of them were in charge of one of the 7 capital cities of heaven, and they would go up against each other in like these trials of combat. And she ended up going up against Dog Brother number 1 and defeated him by overwhelming him with spiders. And quite honestly, you would have defeated me too, because the sight of a spider makes me want to pass out. So having multiple of them on me, I would have probably died from like a heart attack or a stroke. This is really gross, actually. Like, it's it's actually really fucking disgusting. He was in charge of bringing or introducing Fat Cobra and Prince of Orphans. And Prince of Orphans decided that he was going to fight Steel Phoenix and easily defeated him. Hydra decided that they were going to try to take over the 7 capital cities, and the immortal weapons joined together and defeated them. And at some point, they ended up meeting Iron Fist. Now, after saving the celestial cities from Hydra, he was, or the immortal weapons, including the Bride of Nine Spiders, they went to New York to meet with Iron Fist, who is still Danny Rand. And this was after Danny Rand got killed on his 33rd birthday instead of his 32nd by a creature called the Chai-Lin. He essentially used his heart for a dragon egg that he tried to consume, and then like, I guess just didn't. At the Rand Corporation, he looked into Mr. Zhao and found that he was a descendant of the Lightning Lords of Nepal. Bride of Nine Spiders decided to help Iron Fist against Zhao Cheng, who was the host of the Shailin, which was the creature that killed Danny Rand earlier. Now, at Cheng's apartment, they found a partial map to the 8th city, but they were almost killed by a bomb. And they were able to like follow the partial map to the gates of the 8th city, and the immortal weapons were able to use their chi powers to open the gate. However, this weakened them, and they were barely, not even, able to fight off these monstrous creatures, and they ended up bringing them to their leader, Cheng Ming. Now, here they were forced into like tribal combat, basically, or just like combat in general, and they were only able to communicate via Morse code. And when Danny did show up to help fight, he showed up to help. He ended up fighting the first Iron Fist, who Cheng Ming was claiming was the first Iron Fist, who is Quan Yazoo. And while those two are fighting, Tiger's beautiful daughter is able to escape where she is and help the others. They are able to open the gate, which was Cheng Ming's plan all along, and they are able to escape and keep the creatures trapped in the 8th city. Now, during the Fear Itself storyline, the gates were about to be opened again, which forced the immortal weapons to go to Beijing to close the gates again. And they were called by Fat Cobra, and they were joined by Rhodey, who was accompanying the Prince of Orphans from New York City. However, they actually, when they started the ceremony, they actually ended up getting defeated by Titania and Absorbing Man. At this time, what is his name? Danny was possessed by Agamotto, and he ended up fighting the immortal weapons, including the Bride of Nine Spiders, and it was just a lot. It was a huge ass mess, and Rhodey actually ended up stepping in to fight Iron Fist so that they could complete the ceremony. However, Agamotto had a mystic thing going on that was preventing the ceremony from working and preventing the doors from closing. So after Rhodey knocked him out, that whole entire thing stopped, and they were able to complete the ceremony and close the doors. Now, during the whole Spider Island thing, when all of the citizens of New York were turned into mutated spiders, Bride of Nine Spiders did come to assist. Thank you, because ew. But she ended up turning on them and kidnapping her teammates. And Shang-Chi was trying to figure out what the hell was going on and why that was happening. And he was also trying to figure out what was his recurring dream meaning. While he's trying to figure all that stuff out, Silver Sable called and was like, hey, I have a possible location for the Bride of Nine Spiders lair. He's able to find her lair, defeat her, and free Iron Fist, but they realized that the reason all of that stuff happened was because AAPI wanted to feed off of the immortal weapons, so he possessed her, Bride of Nine Spiders. Now, Shang-Chi did confront AAPI, and that whole entire fight went down. He defeated AAPI and freed the immortal weapons, including Bride of Nine Spiders, and everybody was, he was transformed into a spider, but Shang-Chi was able to, Iron Fist was able to cure Shang-Chi of that whole entire situation, and they made sure that Bride of Nine Spiders, as well as the other immortal weapons, were okay. Now, later on, Hierophant and his undead army had attacked the heavenly cities to acquire the hearts of the dragons, which resulted in a slaying of a lot of dragons and the killing of Tiger's beautiful daughter. It was at this time that the Bride of Nine Spiders and the other immortal weapons decided that they needed to join together again to fight. I feel bad. They don't get a fucking break. So they get a message from one of the goddesses. And the goddess Kuan Yin is like, hey, use Fu's portals. So, or like, you need help. So they use Fu's portals to bring the heavenly cities to Earth so that other heroes can assist in defeating this fucking army of zombies, which I know they were pissed. Now, the Bride of Nine Spiders, funny enough, teamed up with Okoye and Hattusili's in Wakanda to help defend the dragons. However, they were too late to stop Yama Dragonsbane from killing a dragon and taking its heart. However, they were able to defeat Dragonsbane later, and Okoye, who received the Iron Fist from Danny, killed Hierophant. And I was almost shocked, but you know, it's Okoye. So afterwards, the slain dragons and the hearts that were taken were sent back to the respective cities, back to the respective dragons. And Bride of Nine Spiders had attended a ceremony where Okoye ended up giving the Iron Fist chi back to Xiaola's egg, which was like the whole catalyst for that whole thing. Xiaolao. Sorry. Later on, the Bride of Nine Spiders and Fat Cobra had encountered the successor of Danny Rand's Iron Fist, Lin Li, and his two friends while they were going to go visit a tomb. And they were kind of impressed, I would say. They were just like, oh, you're who that is. Cool, great, awesome. Now, usually I would pull this from memory, but her list of abilities is very long, so I'm not going to do that to myself. So she has the chi manipulation and chi augmentation. She has arachnid explosion, which means she can have a swarm of spiders burst from her body, which is actually really gross. Arachnid control, nervous system control, energy detection, heightened awareness, enhanced senses, dream walking. Okay. Enhanced durability, enhanced healing through chi, dimensional travel, advanced longevity. She is a very, very supremely skilled martial artist, proficient in weapons, and the collar around her neck that has the spikes, she is able to extend those spikes to kill maim or kill a person that she is fighting. So that's very helpful for her. They had her in for a while, especially meeting the new Iron Fist, because he hasn't been Iron Fist but a minute. So she's pretty recent, pretty current. I would love to see more of her because the immortal weapons do a lot of fucking travel. So she did appear in the Iron Fist TV series. She comes out of the cave. She's the one in like all black and she has like the space buns. That was her. And I would love to see more of her in comics or just in general. If they don't have her, because I know, people play Marvel Rivals. If they don't have her in Marvel Rivals, I think that would be an interesting addition. She's actually really fucking cool. But they've had her up there pretty recent, which is great for her character. And that's it, honestly. I think she's really cool. Her design is amazing. Just the spiders is a lot for me. Okay. So that is it for this episode of The Doctor's Office, and I will see you guys at your next checkup.